My problem with crypto as a whole was not that it made people rich. I've been in crypto for a very long time. I think there's some guys on Twitter who did an expose of me, and they found some tweets on my old account where I had Pancake at less than $1, and I made...
I've seen the burner.
Yeah, I made a bunch of millions on Pancake, and I've been in Bitcoin since 3000. So I have hundreds of millions of crypto, but my problem is not crypto as a whole. I actually love crypto as an asset, and I love crypto as a utility. If I spend large sums of money, I love doing it in crypto. It's much easier in the bank, especially in my current situation. My problem with crypto is that it instigated a culture which I didn't like. I didn't like the crypto culture as a whole because the culture was based on getting in early, which, I mean, I guess you could argue is a skill, but to a degree is luck. Gambling, rug pulls, and just being a degen, laughing about how you're a retard. And the whole culture was just based on infantile, asinine. The whole thing aggravated me because typically in the real world, if you want to get rich, it's nearly impossible to get rich without learning lessons along the way, right? If you want to make millions of dollars in the real world, sooner or later, you're going to have to get staff, which means you have to learn to manage people and motivate people. You're going to learn how to fire people, how to hire people, how to tell if someone's lying to you about a vaccine. You're going to be able to learn things about tax code. You're going to be able to learn things about, no, it's true. You're going to end up needing an office. You're going to have to learn about real estate and leasing. Then you're going to need to learn about how to sell a company and present a company, or perhaps go to a bank and obtain finance and do presentations and do sales. You're going to learn all these things along the way because money doesn't make a man, money amplifies a man. So if you're a smart person with money, you become very smart. If you're an idiot with money, you become a real big idiot. If you're a G with money, you become the top G.
Controversial influencer Andrew Tate is a polarizing figure. You either love him or you hate him. However, one thing is undisputable. Andrew Tate is a crypto expert who has made tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions in space. In his latest interview, Andrew Tate explained how he originally got into Bitcoin and crypto and revealed the dark truth, how crypto can ruin your life. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video, where Andrew breaks down his outlook for Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market for 2025 and beyond. Also guys, only a small percentage of my viewers subscribe. If you enjoy finance content, consider subscribing or liking the video. It's free and you can always change your mind. Now here's Andrew Tate on the dark truth about crypto.
When, how, and like why did you get into crypto?
I think it was the first bull run. I can't remember if it was 2016. When did Bitcoin first go to 20,000? Was that 2016?
I feel like 2016, 2017.
Yeah, that bull run. I was in at 3,000 then. And then there was the COVID crash where it went back down to 4,000. And I put a public tweet out saying I'm buying 500,000 at that price.
Really?
Yeah, that's all on my old Twitter. You can see it. And then I've been in crypto for a while. I've been in Ethereum since $200. I made the most money on PancakeSwap.
That's crazy.
I was in Pancake.
People don't know that. Like, why don't you like just talk about that?
I was in PancakeSwap at like 50 cents.
Why don't you talk about it?
And there was a time when I was printing like $500,000 every 3 or 4 days from PancakeSwap. And I was sitting around saying, this is not real.
This is not real, yeah.
This is ridiculous. And then went up to $30, $40 something before I sold. Or maybe I sold at $18. I can't remember exactly. I sold a bunch of it. But I didn't talk about crypto because I didn't believe there was any lessons in it for people. And also, once again, I feel like I have massive responsibility and I didn't want to say to people at home, hey kids, I'm a millionaire, my life's great, I bought a coin.
Yeah.
I think that's very irresponsible. Now there's lots of dickhead celebrities who will do that, but I think that's one of the worst, most destructive things you can do to a young man is to tell him the only way to get out of the matrix is to gamble. Because it's gambling. There's so many coins launched every day, it's effectively a gamble, you have to win the lottery. I think that it's much better to tell them that it needs to be hard work and et cetera, which is why I'm doing the project I'm doing now because hard work is linked to it. I'm gonna make sure that hard work is involved in the coin because I refuse to tell people, just buy it, you'll just make money easy. No, you're gonna work hard, you're gonna increase your power level inside the school. But some celebrities don't think that way and they don't care, I guess. But me, I think one of the most destructive things I could do on my ascent was tell everybody that I make endless money with no work. Now, I could say that I made a lot of money on Pancake because I already had $500,000 or $1 million laying around. I already had $1 million, $2 million I could waste. So yeah, I could have argued that point, but I just didn't think it was a constructive thing to do. I actually find it quite interesting how crypto people think because I see crypto people when people ask them about crypto and I don't understand the way they answer. I've seen people who are like Bitcoin maxis and someone come up to them and say, should I buy Bitcoin? And they'll be like, yeah, yes, you need to buy Bitcoin because the Federal Reserve prints money and it's all a scam and it's a deflationary asset and there's only gonna be 21 million of them and their mining's gonna stop, da, da, da. And they start talking, trying to sell Bitcoin and I don't get it.
Yeah.
When someone comes up to me and says, Andrew, should I buy crypto? If you want.
Yeah.
I've never been that guy to sit there and try and convince if you get rich or not. And I don't give a where you put your dick. My business. Andrew, should I buy, people were coming up to me, should I buy Pancake? If you want.
If you want.
But will I make money? Maybe. You might lose it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you make money? I made money. Yeah, I made a bunch. I've never been the guy trying to pitch crypto to anybody anyway, which I find weird about the crypto community. Actually, we can psychoanalyze that.
Okay, let's talk about it.
I think it's just canned excitement. I think they're just excited for the possibilities of what could be. Everyone wants Bitcoin at $1 million, and it isn't happening. It's going down, and they're just.
You don't think it'll happen?
Well, I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm saying it isn't happening currently.
Fair.
And they have this canned excitement, and they're just taking that potential energy, and instead of putting it into something positive, like going to the gym or starting another business so they can make fiat currency to buy as much Bitcoin as possible, they take that energy and just direct it at anyone who will listen to them about Bitcoin. I guess they feel like they're helping in some way. Perhaps one more person will buy, perhaps the price will go up. I mean, people don't sit and analyze themselves. I would argue that there's not a single Bitcoin maxi who sat there and that I just convinced that old Chinese lady with no money that Bitcoin maxi. Did I even waste 2 hours of my time? Why did I do that? Like, I've never been that guy. So even when I was in crypto making endless money, people come to me going, hey, I heard you know about crypto. No, don't know anything. Not me. Because if you lose, you're going to cry to me. If I tell you to buy something and it goes down, you cry to me. If it goes up, you keep the money. So I've never been that guy. So you're saying to me, why didn't I tell anyone? Tell who? Tell why. Plus, another point, which ties back into something I said earlier. In case you haven't noticed by now, I like to use circles. I like to always tie back into things I said earlier.
You're pretty good at it.
Well, I lay foundations for conversations at the beginning, so I can always reference them back. I said to you at the beginning of this conversation, if I had $1 million in a briefcase, I'd be concerned about someone killing me, right? If I was making $500,000 every few days from some clicks on a pancake website, I didn't tell nobody. I'm from a different world. I'm from the world where people would sit around in dark rooms with no money and bright ideas. And you'd see someone post a new watch on his Instagram and you'd say, we know what he's wearing and we know what club he's in. That's from my world. I'm not the guy who's running around telling people how I make money. Things are a bit different now.
You do post your money though, your cars.
No, people know I have money. But to this day, most people can't name how I have money.
How you have money, And
they know I have the school because I have to advertise it. But they don't know if I own the school or if I work for the school or I'm a marketer for the school or how the school works or the internal workings of the school. Nobody knows if I have a property portfolio. Nobody knows anything. I'm not that guy because I've been in that room where where those people have got inside of that Astra and gone and sat outside that club and took that Rolex. I'm not the dude who's gonna be sitting around telling people how I'm making $500,000 every 3 days on a stupid cartoon website. I think that getting rich when you're young as a man is probably one of the worst things that can happen. You don't want to get rich till your late 20s. You want to spend all your 20s broke and grinding. Broke, grinding, training, making girls like you for who you are and your backpack. Being funny, being interesting. That's what you need to do. I spent my 20s winning world title fights and living in girls' houses they were cooking for me. I didn't have any money. That's how I grew up. If I had money at 18, 19, I would have skipped so many experiences and so many hard lessons. I'd be a fraction of the man I am today. So I don't like the idea of kids just gambling and getting lucky. Now, of course, that's an anomaly because the majority of kids gamble and lose.
Of course.
They gamble and lose. So then you have to analyze why are kids gambling on meme coins in the first place? And the reason for that is because the matrix is now so broken. Our fiat currency system has become so corrupted.
Feels like the only way out.
It's the only way out. So you're saying to these young kids, well, you can gamble on a shit coin and have a very low probability of getting some money. Or you can go to school and get in debt and get $100,000 a year job and be poor forever and be stuck inside the matrix. And then you're gonna have to go to a job where you have to call a man a woman and you're gonna have to wear a pride flag t-shirt or you're gonna lose your job. Or you're gonna have to get 15 COVID injections, you're gonna lose your job and you're gonna become a slave. So they're gonna sit there and go, well, I don't wanna be a slave to the matrix. My only chance is to gamble. And another reason I have to gamble is because of social media. I ain't got a boat. They're in Lambos. I ain't got a Lambo. That girl's 18 years old. I'm 18. She's on a billionaire's boat.
What am I gonna do?
What am I doing here?
And
that's actually the beauty of the chessboard. You look at the game of chess. The king moves one square at a time. The queen just zips across the board. That's what women do. The chance of them achieving those things off their own back and intellect is 0. Meet the right guy. Done. As a man, you can't just meet the right person. Here. Doesn't work that way. My problem with crypto is that it instigated a culture which I didn't like. I didn't like the crypto culture as a whole because the culture was based on getting in early, which, I mean, I guess you could argue is a skill, but to a degree is luck. Gambling, rug pulls, staying anon, hiding like a little coward in a hole. And the whole culture was just based on infantile, asinine. The whole thing aggravated me because typically in the real world, if you want to get rich, it's nearly impossible to get rich without learning lessons along the way, right? If you want to make millions of dollars in the real world, sooner or later, you're going to have to get staff, which means you have to learn to manage people and motivate people. You're going to learn how to fire people, how to hire people, how to tell if someone's lying to you about a vaccine. You're going to be able to learn things about tax code. You're going to be able to learn things about, no, it's true. You're going to end up needing an office. You're going to have to learn about real estate and leasing. Then you're going to need to learn about how to sell a company and present a company, or perhaps go to a bank and obtain finance and do presentations and do sales. You're going to learn all these things along the way, because money doesn't make a man, money amplifies a man. So if you're a smart person with money, you become very smart. If you're an idiot with money, you become a real big idiot. If you're a G with money, you become the top G. So if you learn things along the way to wealth, the lessons that you learn are amplified by the money, you live a good life. The problem with crypto is there's a bunch of people who would put in $10, pull out 600 grand or 6 million or whatever they do on a shit coin. They've learned nothing along the way. They've improved themselves 0%. They gambled, they pulled it off. But they know so little about life, they don't even take that money and reinvest it in themselves. They don't even think, okay, I'm now rich. I need a personal trainer. I need to learn how to fight. I need to learn how to speak. I need to learn how to present. I need to learn. They don't even do that. They just take some more money out and go back to the gambling. They don't learn anything about themselves. So I didn't like that crypto was making people rich without people learning lessons along the way. And that's why the culture was what it was, because the crypto culture before I jumped into it a month ago was a mess. I mean, I jumped into it and people were saying, this guy's got influence. And I'd scroll up and down his page for a fraction of a second and say, he's a fucking loser. Who listens to this guy? Who gives what he thinks? He's a fucking nobody. A bunch of nobodies. And then a bunch of anons, a bunch of thieves, a bunch of snakes. The whole thing was a mess. It was a cesspit. Once I decided I was going to fix it, I decided I had to come up with an idea that allowed people to make money from the things they should make money from, which is hard work, which is dedication. We can use the favorite word, which is perspicacity, paying attention. Word. People who actually sit down and dedicate themselves to something and who do the right thing and learn lessons along the way, who aren't anon, who aren't hiding, who aren't trying to rug pull, who aren't trying to snake others, who aren't trying to be deceptive, who aren't trying to get in first to use others as exit liquidity. I thought perhaps there's a way that I could revolutionize the industry by instigating a coin that would allow that to be done.
So here's Andrew Tate's take on the dark side of crypto. While there's immense potential in the space, there are also significant risks that every investor needs to understand. Sometimes, the best thing to ever happen to you can be the worst thing to happen to you. Whether you're a crypto enthusiast or just curious about the market, it's essential to stay informed and cautious as you navigate these waters. If you found this video helpful or thought-provoking, be sure to like it and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you think about Andrew Tate's views and whether you agree with his outlook on Bitcoin and the future of crypto. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more finance and crypto content. Your support helps me bring you more valuable insights, and it's totally free. You can always change your mind later. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.